Auntie AK, what have you heard? Well, I have heard a bit more kind of, I don't know, serious or not serious, light-hearted, kind of. Energy bills to go up before October. Liz Truss is defending the earnings of energy companies, saying that soaring price rises and profits should not be considered dirty and evil. Cost of living, people are turning back to cash as prices rise. And I wanted to get into what is a recession, because apparently we're going into recession, and how can it affect us? So there's a few kind of top line headlines about the fact that we're going into recession, about the fact that winter is coming, shout out Game of Thrones, and we're going to be either sitting with all our clothes on because we're scared to turn our heating on, and the fat cats of the energy industry are going to be sitting pretty in, naked in their houses with a roaring fire. And people are turning to cash where we're supposed to be a cashless society, moving towards being a cashless society. People are now like, nah, let me have my little monies, my physical money, so I can really see where my money's going. Because we all know that digital money is not real. And do we understand what a recession is? Because some people are like, oh my God, we're heading into a recession. But when, especially for those of us who have been living in recession from the day we were born, will the real recession affect us? Or let's talk about it. How are you lot feeling? Are you scared of the winter? Is Liz Truss right? The energy companies aren't evil. Are you using cash more? And are you scared about the recession? Go.
Well, you could have actually just plugged House of the Dragon, which starts tomorrow.
There's that. Well, our team's going to the premiere tomorrow. There's that too, House of the Dragon, of course.
Which is a prequel to Game of Thrones. But am I scared? You know what? To be honest, no, because I do live a quite a privileged life. Like, my clients are mainly in tech. I'm not saying it's necessarily going to affect them, but it's not. Do you know what I mean? Like, yes, it's probably going to be more like a bump than a really kind of like a thud. Do you know what I mean? So I do need to kind of like, start with that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know I live a completely different life to most people. So no, I don't think it will. Obviously you see the prices of things going up and everything like that, but like generally in terms of, my overheads are pretty low. Do you know what I mean? Kind of thing. The company's banking at the moment, so we're doing all right. Do you know what I mean? So I think we'll be fine, depending on how long it lasts. We'll see. But from now to the end of the year, we'll probably be fine in that sense, unless something majorly happens. But for like, I think like if you're, I used to be, is like super broke. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of recession all the time. Do you know what I mean? Like, so before I had to walk to work, I didn't have bus fare. Like I had to live on £20 a week for all food, all travel, clothes, everything. Do you know what I mean? So it's just those days, obviously, hope to God don't go back to those days, but like that is a very reality for a lot of people. I think we're probably going to see like increase of like food banks and stuff. There's probably going to be another like campaign about feeding people over Christmas and stuff and everything like that. We'll probably see that. I think like, no, I don't believe Liz Truss is nonsense about they're not evil. Yes, they're 100% not. Have you seen their bonuses? Have you seen their fucking bonuses? Their bonuses can pay for this recession. Like, do you know what I mean? I even saw a clip on this caller called into, I don't know who sent it, but caller called into LBC, and he was just like, he just broke down how he could raise like X amount of money to get out of the recession immediately. Do you know what I mean? So I think he was saying something about like if you earn over £100,000, like you get like, you don't get taxed, and for you don't get taxed on the first 26k or something, or whatever you earn. So if you stop that, then that will give us a bit of money. Anyone, like, he just went through these different things. I'll find the clip. But it was just like, problem solved. But they don't want to do that. They don't want to solve the problem. They just want us to suffer. For some reason, they were talking about rolling blackouts. Like, I don't want to hear anyone cut Nigeria. I don't want to hear anyone cut in Ghana. Exactly. Seriously, if that comes here, you better shut your mouth. Like, seriously, you ain't got nothing to hold on. If NEPA arrives here, please, I don't want to hear it. Exactly. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I don't know. I really do feel for people. I think, like, this is, why you don't vote for your personal circumstances. You vote for the most vulnerable people in society. That's what we should be doing, and trying to protect them in these difficult times, really and truly.
Facts.
I think I'm not even engaging in the recession talk because there's always money out there. Like, I just believe there is money out there. You got to have the right thing, you know, to solve that person's problem and go get to the money. Like, I think, especially coming from where I'm from, I grew up in Peckham, single, like, it don't get harder than bully beef and rice. Like, in my opinion, it does not get harder than that. And I think there's so much scaremongering happening as well. Like, if it's not the recession, it's monkeypox. If it isn't monkeypox, it's something else, it's something else, and something else. I just think that people gotta make sure that they are consuming the right information as well, because as far as we're concerned, there is no way out of this. Like, people are just gonna end up with £4,000 energy bills, and that's just it. Like, if the government can't figure it out, it's not me, Remi Ray, with my phone, that's going to now figure out how to stop the whole entire UK economy from not having this problem anymore. Do you see what I mean? Like, I just feel like that is your job. You guys figure it out. Whenever you figured it out, let us know. But I refuse to engage in all the like fear of, oh my God, we're in a recession, tighten the purse strings. Like, we're already tight. People haven't had pay rises like regular people in years. Like, I refuse. Liz Truss need to go and sit down somewhere in the corner too, because it's not you that's now fighting for the spot to get more information to squeeze us on the other side as well. When you become PM or whatever, to benefit your family, that now you're telling us it's fine to find out her cousin probably owns one of those energy companies, and that's why she ain't bothered. You know what I mean? Like, I don't worry about these people. I think it's a bad use of my time.
You know, it's crazy that Liz Truss, who probably is going to be our next PM, is talking about they're not bad, and it's because they're all the same. Like, to have an energy crisis that isn't a crisis that's being made just so that people can have billions of profit, and as a government you're not putting any regulation on that, then everybody's in it together. You're with them as well. It's the same shit. She's crazy. They all are mad, and definitely, like Remi said, it's there's no point in getting involved in this, because it's like, we're going to be affected or we're not going to be affected. The best thing to do is think about what you can do with your life to survive these psychopaths, and that's pretty much it. Just think about what you can do, what skills you have, how you can be involved in lots of different endeavors and keep it moving, because they're absolutely mad. I don't know what they want. Well, we do know what they want. They want us to all be on our knees, destitute, so that they can give us a universal wage and have us as flipping slaves working for them. They are so crazy.
There's a Don't Pay UK campaign, if any of you fancy, where do not pay your bills, your energy bills this year. But there's lots of, which we have talked about, you know, what would it look like if all the worker bees down tools? We know that will cripple society, but then as a counter, we know that the media and the government and all the people involved are going to band together to scare us out of doing that, because we know that it would probably work in some way, but they're going to do their best. There's lots of articles now saying, you know, the dangers of not paying your bills. People are already in debt. So it's like, I mean, I'd like to risk it, but there's enough fear in me not to do it. But idealistically, I'm like, I'm not going to pay my bill this week.
I think if you've got your mortgage and you've got like whatever you needed to establish from like having a good credit score, YOLO. Because like, what are they going to do? Millions and millions of people don't pay. What are they going to arrest us all? There's no jails to fit us. What are they going to do? Mess up everybody's credit score? Then no money circulates. Nobody, you know, everyone's in debt already. So they stop paying everything after that, because you put pressure on us for this one thing. Then they're going to say, well, I won't pay student loan. Fuck it. Oh, you know what? Actually, while I'm at it, that TV license that I never wanted to pay anyway, let me stop paying that too. Like, it's a trickle effect. I think if we were the French, we would have burned down the place by now.
This before. In an article, I think RTV.com says, There's all these, there are a lot of articles. What happens if I cancel my direct debit? The Charity Citizens Advice UK has warned of serious consequences for those who don't pay bills. Head of Energy Policy, Gillian Cooper said, for starters, if you cancel your direct debit, you might be charged a fee. That seems insignificant. Check your supplier's website to find out what this might be. She added, if you move from direct debit to a different payment method, you will likely end up paying more, as direct debit is often the cheapest option. Could I end up being in debt or being cut off from my energy supply? When you build up arrears to your energy supplier, they can take action like moving you onto a prepayment meter, or in rare cases, they could disconnect you, Ms. Cooper explained.
Really?
However, the supplier must serve you notice before they take these steps.
And you can't do that to millions of homes, though.
That's what I'm saying.
You actually don't have the personnel.
The consequences don't really outweigh the facts. Like, but we're giving you all the information. There is a campaign, Don't Pay UK. If you want to get, but please do your due diligence and
your own research. And I think it's down to personal circumstances as well. Like Shadi's business is bankrolled at the moment, so she's like, well, I'll just see how this plays out. You know what I mean? Like, but the next person that's literally maybe going to a food bank right now is like, oh my God, like things are gonna get worse. But I don't know. I think Liz Truss and Co. that clearly bailed out a lot of these energy companies anyway. Half of that money that they are having, like the bonuses have been birthed from is taxpayers' money anyway. So at this point, you better stay in your house, read a few books, and get educated about how these systems work, so that when the next thing happens, you're educated on how to help yourself, because they can't, what, they're going to shut off all of their energy for millions of people?
The thing is, though, unfortunately, they will make examples out of people, and they'll usually make up examples of the most vulnerable people in our society. That's the thing. And it's just like I don't want to see that happen. I think if the middle classes do this, then yes, I think let the middle classes do it first, because they're the least likely for it to be like a stain, basically. Do you know what I mean? They're the least likely. They'll probably have more capital to, do you know what I mean, to fight cases and stuff.
We ended up with a congestion charge. Like, we need to stop sitting on the fences for certain things. Like, I'm not saying I'm jumping off the cliff tomorrow, but like, I do think there needs to be a better collective spirit in the UK about certain things. Like, it is £15 to go into central London.
Yeah.
Like £15 to drive your car. Like, this is wild.
It's mad.
No, it's so true.
Listen, what on a lower scale, we're paying for plastic bags.
This is what I'm saying.
It does not happen.
It's gone up in price and down in quality. And the thing is, it doesn't even help the environment.
It doesn't help. Have you not seen, sorry, on Insta, there's a thing that shows, again, Black people, we stay recycling bags. My whole cupboard, I've got no space to put stuff because it's full of freaking plastic bags. That's the jip. We are.
It's not even just plastic. It is bags. Like Boots charge me
standard
paper bag 20p.
Right.
And wasn't it supposed to just be a standard 5p?
5p.
When it came out, it was like 5p a bag was the campaign slogan.
The only bag that I could say could slightly, because the Waitrose, because before when it first started happened, the Waitrose bag is a bag for life, or it's a solid bag. But who can always shop in Waitrose, for those of you who can't? And the other bags,
buy those bags. You could always buy those. Those bags were available before the charges came in. Do you know what I mean?
But there's one, like Tesco's bags are so thin. So thin. You put one sharp plastic thing, it's open for life, and then you pay 20p for it.
But people buy less as well because people can't. That's the thing. It's like a catch-22. They might as well reabsorb the cost and like try to find another initiative, because I buy less. Say I go to Co-op, I buy less because I don't want to have to keep paying for bags, because I paid for a bag there, I've paid for a bag for shopping, I've paid for a bag here. I just buy less. I buy what my hands can carry to take to my yard, and that's it.
The amount of people I see.
That's me. I'm like, let me put the cereal at the bottom and put the other stuff on top. You just buy less. Buy less.
We are really, really, really gypped in so many ways. There's so much bullshit scams from the government down that we do need to be a lot less apathetic and more active, like our French and other country compatriots.
I feel like it's changing slightly. If you
Slightly. People are
see,
starting to
like the organisations and how they're really getting people to like sign up. It's something that Sade said about the middle class people. I know there was one, so when people were tying themselves up to the roads and bits like that, they put some leaflets down at my old workshop, and it was like, if you can afford or you have the time to be a part of this, we will cover your bail charges.
Oh,
we
nice.
have lawyers on deck. So there is like that. They're trying to get that kind of groundswell of, or like grassroots activism going, because they know it's going to get worse. So definitely, I wouldn't do it by myself, but if I was attached to an organisation and they would pay for the debts, or if I do go to court or whatever, they're behind you, then it's worth us doing that en masse. I was thinking about when we were teenagers and there was all those protests around poll tax. And although we sold the poll tax to us as council tax, but what they initially wanted to do, because the country was up in arms about it, they couldn't follow through on that. They still managed to tax us, but they had to change it. These are the things I think, once there's millions of us that are like, hell no, we can't do it, we can change some things, but it does take everyone. It can't take 100, it's millions, it's thousands need to be involved.
I don't know. I think they know that we're passive, man. The pandemic taught them that they can get a bunch of, like, the majority of the country on their doorsteps clapping to imaginary people.
Imagine.
Look, every week for how many weeks?
Around the day, we're not giving them a pay rise anyway, because
and charging them to park for work. I'm going to work to save lives, and I have to pay for parking fees.
They know what they're doing. They know who their audience is. It's wild.
We'll be reporting this daily. Don't worry. The aunties are on the case, and we will let you know about all the organizations you can sign up. But it's true. Protect yourselves. Middle classes, get your fucking asses out there. The working bees are not doing it for you. The middle classes, those of you who got extra bank, get out there and do something. Because
but remember, when they start pissing off a Karen, because there is nothing like a middle class white woman mother on a rampage
in a bonnet.
All of the pride, like literally, like when it starts affecting their pockets, that's when we'll start changing.
We need to take out of circulation. It's not avocados. What is it? We take something out of circulation, and then there'll be.
It is avocados, goji berries, chia seeds.
I think like oat milk.
Oat milk.
Get rid of oat milk.
Cups with light off.
Starbucks, they can't go to Starbucks or Costa. They cannot get a frappuccino.
And shut down all trains.
Yes.
All trains. No trains to London.
And yeah.
Like, you'd have to do all those things all at the same time. Do you know what I mean?
I cannot cope. Tarquin is driving me crazy.
Yeah. And then associate that with energy. Like, just like, this is because of energy, the energy companies. Yeah, then everything will change.
I do think Black people will be affected the most. And and the reason why is because one thing about white people, they're going to drink tea at work to not have air in their stomach, right? Like, they are going to not have no gas because they've drunk 10 cups of tea in the office, and Black people need a hot meal at some point during the day, you know what I mean? So I think it's going to be us that's affected first.
More standardly anyway, but yes, exactly.
So true.
Remove tea bags.
Yes, if you remove the tea bag and the
tea bags, the country will be like, are you all right? Every calf. If every
you know what? Sugar. Get rid of sugar. People lose their fucking minds. No sugar, no syrup, no honey. No, Vargay syrup or whatever that's called.
Agave.
Yeah, that's it. None of that. Get rid of all of it. They'll lose their minds.
Honestly, out. Tea bags and hobnobs. Tea bags and hobnobs. I think that's a thing as well.